This is Northwest Connects. I'm Curado Waycross Community Media. Today we have as our special guest Superintendent Darrell Yater. We have Dustin Gehring and Lindsey Gibson. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Darrell, I'd like to start with you. Northwest Local School District has a focus on supporting the whole child, the staff, and mental health is a part of the emphasis of addressing these particular issues for staff, students, and family. How does the district do this?
So part of our strategic plan is around social emotional learning. And so for us, that means that we are supporting the whole child. That involves that we are spending as much time preparing students to learn as we are teaching them, because we want them to access the information, learn the information, and apply the information. And so that looks like doing a lot with our students around social emotional learning, understanding conflict resolution skills, how to have healthy relationships, how to maintain friendships, how to participate in class, how to take turns. So all those academic skills that are kind of those soft skills that are needed to participate in the school environment are part of things that we do from a school-based perspective to actually prepare students to learn and make sure they have the skills to access the learning environment. From a staff perspective, we support our staff in a lot of ways, but particularly around the mental health piece, we have a new product that we've worked with our staff on. It's an app. It's through our health consortium to make sure that they have access to this app that actually is focused on well-being. So it's their mental, physical, financial well-being, and it's the well-rounded approach. And then for our parents, we actually have Lindsey Gibson, who's here with us, is our district social worker who can support families with a lot of needs. And so we work from the perspective of the whole child, but also the whole community.
You also have a program called Best Point. If you'll tell us about what those partnerships looks like for the schools.
So we have a lot of partnerships that really go into this social emotional space. So Best Point is one of them. Best Point is actually a partner that we use for some individual counseling for students around mental health that is actually done within the school. But we also have a partnership with Hamilton County Juvenile Court for a diversionary court program that we call Safe Counsel that really supports root cause analysis around barriers for students and families. We have a partnership with the YWCA to make sure that we have additional adults in the building that can actually support some of that SEL work. And we have a partnership with Hamilton County Jobs and Family Services through their KISSER program to actually have Kids in School rule at Northwest, where we have dedicated staff who are working with kids in custody. So we have a lot of partnerships that actually build out a wraparound system that actually supports our kids and our families in our district.
Well, there's no question. When I was a student, we did not have the social media pressure and all the social aspects that we have today. So those partnerships are really vital, aren't they?
Yeah, it takes a village to really do what we're doing to educate children. And it's not just about the academics, the reading, writing, or arithmetic, but when we are looking at employability skills for students when they leave us and what they need to be successful in life, it's some of those soft skills as well. So we have those as our portrait of a graduate, some of those communication, collaboration skills, things that students need to really, truly be thriving adults in our community.
Dustin, there's a national organization called the Hope Squad. Will you tell us about it?
Absolutely. So the Hope Squad is a group that's in all 5 of our secondary buildings, both high schools and all 3 middle schools. And it's an organization that supports students supporting students. And so we've aligned with them to come in and help our students understand the importance of taking that next step when a student's come forward with something concerning, something that maybe they're telling a friend. And so what happens is that our student body pick around 10 students or so that embody everything that they believe would be in a trusted friend. And so those students then get some training on how to receive information from maybe a student that's having some distress or is under concern, and then knowing what to do with it, such as taking it to a trusted adult and when to do so and how to give great advice. It's a great program because we know that our students and all students are having these conversations. And so to empower them with the next step is really a great thing.
Lindsey, you're the social worker.
Yes.
Now, for Northwest Local Schools, what are some of the supports the district has in place right now to identify students who may be struggling with mental health?
Yes, so Northwest has a variety of resources, wraparound services in place right now. I'll start with our school counselors. We a few years ago recognized there was a broader need in our elementary buildings, and so we added school counselors to our elementary buildings. Our middle schools have counselors, and our high schools have numerous counselors as well. So every student, no matter what the need, has access to a school counselor, K through 12. So that's, the first thing I wanted to mention. And then if students are in need of a little bit more support, where they're going through a possible mental health issue, or they need someone to talk with them individually, one-on-one, a therapist, a counselor, more therapeutic route, we oftentimes rely on our Best Point partnership. So we have therapists and care coordinators in every single building. Some carry a caseload of 30 to 40, depending on the acuity of needs. And they really focus on reaching the students' individual needs. So they provide 1 hour, 60-minute sessions per week with those students, and then really get to, making sure that their symptoms are minimizing and that we're really getting to root causes. So.
You also have an emphasis on food pantries and hygiene, don't you?
Yes. So we non-therapeutically, but more wraparound services. We do provide food for our families. We know that basic needs are a true, area that every student needs basic needs for them to learn in school. So food being very crucial, and Taylor Elementary and both Pleasant Run Middle School offer food to our families. So if you're a Northwest family, you just come there and you're eligible to get some food items.
School counselors, it's changed since I went to school a long time ago. Darrell's smiling on that, but a long time ago. But they offer individual behavioral health. If you'll explain more what the role of a school counselor is today.
So they do offer individual behavioral health services as well, but I think more of our counselors are doing a lot of that social emotional learning and teaching at the elementary levels. They go into the classrooms when during elective bells or planned bells or whatever, whatever time they can provide, and do a lot of that teaching. So the students who are in need of a little bit more, typically we rely on our partnerships for those services.
You also have group work that's available. Could you talk about that as you are offering self lessons? If you'll explain what that is.
The SEL is social emotional learning. So our counselors are in those classrooms teaching different things day in and day out. They're also doing some small group work. So students who are experiencing a similar issue, they're pulling them together. They're doing lunch bunch groups. They're doing girls groups. They're doing boys groups. They're doing all kinds of different things to make sure that the students' needs are being addressed. The other type of group work that we're providing to address the mental health concerns is Colerain Middle School has adopted a new school-based day treatment. It's a BELL program. So students who are experiencing a little bit more distress and concerns are in a BELL. So one BELL, it's carved out, it's embedded into their schedule, it's done semester to semester, and they're getting a little bit more of that SEL, that social emotional learning, how to regulate their emotions, what to do in a social conflict, how to interact with peers appropriately, and things like that. So that is a little bit more than a typical, student would get in a classroom with a school counselor. So that is something really cool. We've done that for the last 3 years. And we can have up to 8 kids per group. So they operate 5 bells a day.
To me, I would think for you looking at it, be very gratifying to see this program has progressed over the past 3 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, let's also take a look at some of the private classes for parents that focus on helping parents to have more positive outcomes with their children, if you'll address that.
Yeah, so this has been something that we've continued to chase throughout the years. So we're going on year 5 of offering parent courses and groups for our caregivers. We know that it is super tough to be a parent and that they need resources too. We flood our students with as much possible into the in the schools, but we know that they go home and that parents need those skills and the equipment to be parents these days. So we offer two different groups. One is geared for families who have students between the ages of 5 and 10. We call that group our Loving Solutions group. We actually started that a couple weeks ago. We are at full capacity right now. We have parents coming back week after week. We have students coming to our free childcare. We offer dinner. It's really a really cool experience. We've had after this series will be over, we'll probably have over 100 families who graduated. They've gone through 40 hours of coursework and classes, so it's a really big deal. We also offer our parent project group, and that's going to be beginning tonight. Will be our first group tonight. We're expecting over 20 parents to come. Like I said, we offer our free dinner. We offer childcare. We have some of the high school students come and assist in the childcare portion of it. They help the adults in there. They interact with the kids. They tutor the kids, and all while their parents are getting the support that they need in the class. So.
Well, I love the names, but in addition to that, I think it's tremendous to have these type of programs for parents. Now, Lindsey, how have you seen or heard of any positive results from the parents who have attended so far? Of course, there's one starting tonight,
Yeah.
so you only have the Loving Projects, but what has been the reaction from that?
So, I think the biggest reaction is this partnership we have it never stops, if that makes sense. So, like, parents will come, they have their own Facebook group, they develop their own networks after the class is over. So it's not really ever over. They start to build their own natural supports in the community. So that's been very powerful to see that year after year. And the other thing is we take data and we track it, and we do see decreases in school discipline and increases in attendance and increases in grade progression. So those are all positive things. But I think the really cool thing for me, we can talk data all day, but it's just seeing the connection with the families and the parents, and knowing that this, for a student to see their parent to go to a class and try harder to be a parent, it's very rewarding.
Well, I'm a parent of two kids, grown adults now, but when they were younger kids, it was a challenge. And we were looking for ways to try to be a better parent.
Yeah.
And I think whatever kind of a marriage you can have between the school district and the parents to have that kind of connection, it's a valuable connection to make, Darrell. Don't you agree on that? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, so it's a village. And in order for us to realize, our strategic plan and our mission to truly guide students along a pathway to success, we really have to involve everyone in that. And so the things you've heard about today, some of the core basic things we do with our counselors to just teach some of those, cooperative skills that students should have to be, good friends and good students, and the increased levels of support we can add on. Our parents are a partner in this. So as we are talking about adding increased support, our parents are part of that conversation, and they're agreeing to the Best Point referral. They're agreeing to, the placement in the Corning Middle School program. So our parents are with us on this journey. And so our partners from Best Point, from JFS, from all of our different agencies that support us side by side, the amazing agencies that are within the community who partner with us to bring the best out of our students and to support our families. It really does model the fact that a collaborative environment where you bring people together to solve solutions opens up multiple opportunities and removes barriers. And we're seeing the successes in our kids, our families, and in our staff.
Well, as an ending note, as we move forward, what is it that you want the families and the community to know about and to take away from this program today?
I really want our families to know that we're in this together, that we are partners in producing students who are going to achieve at their highest possible level, who are going to continue to give back and enrich our community, and that we are here to support. And so I would encourage parents who are struggling or who have questions to reach out to their school to start making sure that they are part of that solution, and that know that we're reaching out to them as well. So that partnership between school and parent and school and community has never been stronger and is growing every year, and we're really excited about that.
Well, coming from a family of educators, my mom taught for 35 years. My aunt was a principal. One of my daughter-in-laws has been a principal. I thank all of you because I know it's a difficult job to move ahead and try to have that marriage of the parents and the students. And these programs that you talked about today, I think are just fantastic to be able to merge the community with the school district. So I applaud you as the superintendent, but also Lindsey, Dustin, and everybody who's involved, Darrell.
It takes a team.
It does take a team, or as Darrell has said, it takes a village. We thank our guest today, Superintendent Darrell Yater. Also, we have Dustin Gehring and Lindsey Gibson. I'm Kurt Radel, Waycross Community Media. We'll see you next time.